Now, time to move on to Marvel news. Admittedly, this isn't as big as DC announcing all these movies, but it's still pretty interesting stuff here.
Yeah, we're taking a turn in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
This year, we're getting Avengers 2 and Ant-Man. 2016, we're getting Cap 3 and Doctor Strange. So, the big news about Cap 3 is that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be a main character. Iron Man's going to show up and be a pivotal character in the movie. And they said they can't even reveal what the tagline for the movie is because it's too big of a spoiler. I guess kind of like Winter Soldier in those lines.
I love it.
And so everyone's it's pretty much confirmed that this movie will tie into the new Avengers or Avengers-like event film, which will be basically Civil War. So Cap and Iron Man are going to butt heads in Cap 3 over something. Cap's going to lead his own small mini Avengers, most likely with, I think the rumored characters were Falcon, I think Winter Soldier's on his side now, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, War Machine, who might be Iron Patriot, and Hawkeye.
Okay.
And then Iron Man's going to be there too, and then at some point they're going to branch off, and Iron Man might get his own crew together, and then that's going to lead into Civil War.
Okay.
So something's going to happen in Avengers 2 that's big, that'll cause this rift, and then that rift will get cemented in Cap. Cap 3 will be all right, screw it, we're doing a war. Which will it's just at the beginning too. I mean, Winter Soldier was at the end of the last cycle. It was just this year, and then it was Avengers 2. This one started setting up Phase 3.
Okay.
Of saying things are bad. The biggest question I have: do they have enough heroes to do Civil War?
And the answer is no, they do not. Because that's my biggest concern with Civil War 2 with all this talk. Again, now, Marvel has done an amazing job. They flipped Guardians of the Galaxy. You remember my reaction to the announcement of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Are they insane? Really? They flipped it. Rocket Raccoon and Groot are now household names.
Yeah.
People are pre-ordering the Groot dance in the pop. You know what I mean? So it's done. If anybody can do it, it's Marvel. They can do it. They can. However, it's just there's so many components missing. I mean, for everything to go wrong, we've just established the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and for everything to go wrong now, it suggests, one, it's just okay, everything's so good right now. I mean, granted we have the whole, the Hydra, Shield, being defunct and everything like that. Hydra's still out there. But in the same time, you're just now establishing your characters, I feel, and then you're tearing them down. And then on top of that, you don't have enough resources. We don't have enough characters to really participate in a cinematic scale Civil War. So,
off the top of my head, heroes that are alive that could do something in a Civil War would be, we got Iron Man, War Machine / Iron Patriot, possibly Rescue if
she still has her.
I'm pretty sure she's going to die in Avengers 2. I'm calling now. Pepper Potts is going to die in Avengers 2, and it's going to turn Iron Man.
She has
sour.
the Extremist. She has powers now.
Yeah, but he fixed that. Hulk, Thor. We could possibly bring in some other Asgardians. The Warriors 3, Sif.
Right.
Cap, Falcon, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Winter Soldier, possibly Agent 13.
Okay.
I mean, SHIELD agents that are still around could also be included in there. Coulson's team.
Sure.
And then they're doing 4 miniseries on Netflix: Daredevil, Power Man, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones. They could also just be put into the movies because why not? Who cares? We need more heroes, and that's pretty much it.
That's it. So what we're missing is, of course, obviously,
Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and Vision. That's it.
So we're missing huge corners. Okay, with Fox, X-Men, Fantastic Four out of the picture.
Well, to be fair, X-Men weren't that involved. Wolverine was really the only one involved.
True. But,
but Fantastic Four and SpiderMan were huge in the story.
Matter of fact, SpiderMan is arguably what kind of makes Civil War go round.
Exactly. He became a focal point at partway through as the. I read this article on Screen Rant calling him the child of divorce in the story between Cap and Iron Man. Reed Richards' role can kind of be split between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner, I guess, they're smart guys. They could probably do whatever he did in the comics, I suppose. They won't have the Fantastic Four family being split, but that might distract from the main plot line of a movie anyway.
But I mean, with
Spider-Man's the real problem with this.
Without Reed Richards and without your Reed Richards, Tony Stark, we don't get the Illuminati. We can't have the Illuminati.
That's true.
And so then, all that fun, under the rug type stuff, for a possible Planet Hulk movie, which I know has been in the talks. All that fun sort of backroom dealing, cloak and dagger stuff, kind of gets dismissed. So it's just it's curious as to how they'll make Civil War function. I mean, granted, if that's even the route they'll take. If they do take Civil War, I think it's more of a strategic play to have a way out for Cap.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, so the two heavily rumored subtitles for Captain America 3 is Captain America Civil War and Captain America Fallen Sun.
Mm-hmm.
Fallen Sun seems the most likely, since I think Civil War is going to be tagline of either Avengers Civil War or just do a Civil War movie, not even Avengers. Fallen Sun seems like, technically that's the end of the story, but it's a good tagline for the start too.
Right.
Because it shows like, it could be mean he didn't fall in that he died, he fell in that he's on the outskirts of the law now. I mentioned earlier that there have been rumblings that Sony and Marvel have been in talks about sharing Spider-Man. If they do that, that fixes the Civil War problem.
It does.
If they do that though, we don't know if it's still going to be Andrew Garfield, the amazing universe we've seen so far.
Dude, that would be lame.
They could start from scratch.
Oh, I don't have the strength. Garfield is an amazing Spider-Man. If that's even where they go with it, if they introduce some new dude as Spider-Man,
Well, I mean,
I'd have to cry a little.
Do you think they need to in order to make the two universes meld? Because it's in New York where all that big alien stuff happened.
Right, but at the same time, this is the problem. This is the sort of negotiation problems that we're having that makes this whole thing, lose its momentum, and that's if we keep having to reboot characters every time.
Yeah.
This is what's going to end our golden age of superhero movies.
The reboots.
Yeah, the reboots and the prequels are gonna kill us because we love it. We love it, but everyone else who they're trying, the audience that Hollywood wants, they're not gonna have the patience for that.
Yeah, no, there are so many people who are confused about Amazing Spider-Man in the first place.
As
why
it
isn't it
is.
Tobey Maguire?
Right.
How is it what's with the sequel? It's weird.
I'm done. I don't want to see that. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
That's
I don't
part of
need
the reason why the
another
second one
Spider-Man
didn't do well. People were confused about the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's pluses and minuses to rebooting it over. One, it would be easier, more melded into the mainstream Marvel universe. But again, I don't really want to start over.
I don't know. Yeah. No. I don't have the strength. I just don't have it.
So, yeah, who knows how it's going to go. And who knows if Civil War is even going to be one movie. They might do the part 1, part 2 thing, too.
Civil War, all that sounds great. I want to see what the Marvel Cinematic Universe does. I'm always going to be, right there. I'm not saying I'm departing, but I do want to. I think, Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet War, that premise. I want to get back to that. I want that.
Well, Guardians is definitely. We know they're getting a sequel, I think, in 2017. So, following Cap and Doctor Strange, we're going to get another Guardians story that'll probably set up whatever the next event thing is.
Right.
Because Guardians are going to be handling the future event thing on their end, while all the Earth people are dealing with Earth problems that ultimately don't really matter because Thanos is out there. And who knows? Maybe the end of Civil War would be Guardians of the Galaxy showing up saying, like, what are you guys doing? The universe is about to end.
You see that?
And they just look up and the sky's bleeding away or something. And then the next one's all about dealing with Thanos, maybe. I doubt they're going to be that closely connected, but we do know that whenever the Thanos story comes up in front, it will be a Guardians Avengers movie.
Yes.
There's no way that's not going to happen.
It needs to be.
In the meantime, we're going to have Cap being against registration and Tony Stark being for it, which is why I think Pepper Potts is going to die before that.
Maybe
because he's pretty
galvanize him.
He's very free spirited right now. He doesn't want the government up in his business doing all that. But someone with powers who is not registered is going to cause Pepper to die, and that's going to be the catalyst to make Tony Stark do something, to join up with the government and try to stop it. So
we'll see.
That's how it's going to start. The other bit, where the superheroes are going to go, they're going to start coming up with more superheroes. I mean, there's rumors that there are going to be more superheroes in Avengers 2 than we know about.
I hope so. Because I always thought that just Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah, we pretty much know Wakanda's going to be in it, but they said but there's not going to be Black Panther. They could just be saying that, and they're saying that Avengers 3 might not even have the Avengers cast we know in it. Like it might have
new Avengers,
might have Cap maybe or Hawkeye, but the rest are going to be new heroes. That might not even have setup movies. Like maybe Doctor Strange will be in it, maybe not. Maybe they'll just be like, we're not even doing a Black Panther movie. He's just going to lead the Avengers. Like
that would suck. Just personally, that's personal reasons. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
But what about all this talk though? Another bit of Marvel news that's really strange is the fact that Marvel Comics is talking about the canceling or stopping Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're stopping Fantastic Four. They've done this before. They've stopped Fantastic Four a few times, and then eventually it comes back in some form.
But this is the first time that it has to do with talks of, negotiations with Fox.
Marvel has said no, but evidently the reason for this is because they don't want to support a movie they won't make money from, or as much money from. Because the way the deal is with Fox, somehow, I think they only get merchandising from the Fantastic Four movies.
Oh, okay.
They get a small piece of the movie, like a fraction, and then they get the merchandising. But they get merchandise for X-Men too. And did you see any Days of Future Past toys? No, they didn't make them. Yeah. Marvel chose not to make those toys because they didn't want to support that movie. That's what people are saying.
And that's that's a nasty sort of turn that this is also taking as well.
Yes. Marvel wants the stuff back.
They want it back. Yeah, I think that's what
they always say why would they're doing fine with their properties. Why would we want to success?
I'm glad you brought that up.
But
they want it back.
They say that, but they want it back.
They want it back. Yeah.
Now, however, that's how the relationship with Fox. The relationship with Sony is much more friendly.
I think it's a little bit
more. They're best buds, Marvel and Sony. They put their full support behind Spider-Man. They make Spider-Man toys. They Spider-Man comics out because on one hand they can't kill Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is too.
I mean, kill the comic, I should say. They can't kill the Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes of all time. So I guess for whatever reason they made peace with that, and their deal with Sony I guess is better. I think they get more money from those movies. But even now they're in talks with Sony to share Spider-Man even more. So I think they're very happy about that too. I think they want Fox to be put into some situation where they have to share with Marvel, at least.
At least.
Because, X-Men was on its last foot, and then Days of Future Past was huge. People love that movie. So, and it's getting a bunch more sequels, and Marvel's left out of that. So, there's no word of them doing anything with X-Men, but Fantastic Four, they're canceling the series. Just around the time, there will not be a Fantastic Four comic when the movie is out.
And that's just, I don't know. That's significant. Right now, yeah, it's something. It's not astronomically huge, but I think that's gonna start a nasty chain reaction.
It's especially more problematic because when this they leaked it they were going to do this months ago, and Marvel said, why would we do that? That's ridiculous. We're not going to cancel Fantastic Four. We're not out to get back at Fox or whatever. It's why would we hurt ourselves by canceling Fantastic Four? And then they answered, canceling Fantastic Four. Well, also part of the reason is Fantastic Four comics don't sell that well. People don't read Fantastic Four anymore, generally.
You have to be seriously.
You have to be those are your favorite.
You are a comic fan. It's funny. It's the same. Fantastic Four has the same audience, that obscure comic audience that I thought Guardians of the Galaxy had. where Guardians just didn't have.
They did. Really. They did at most of their life, but once the movie geared up, they really pushed Guardians in the comic universe.
Yeah.
And those comics sell really well now, especially after the movie's out. So, I mean, a Fantastic Four movie could have ignited re-interest in Fantastic Four comic, but they're just not even going to try.
And that's scary to see where this is going to go.
Yeah, I mean, X-Men have been pretty big recently, right? The whole versus Avengers thing, and they got some new team-up between Avengers and X-Men event coming.
Wolverine's dead.
Yeah, they killed Wolverine. Some people are blaming that on the Fox thing too, but I think that's just they kill Superman all the time.
I mean, it's his turn. It's the equivalent of jury duty. It's
pretty much, yeah. I'm one of the people who really want Marvel to at least half own all their movie stuff. I realize they don't have the resources to make movies for all these stuff. You know, they're doing 2 year, they're moving up to 3 year. I think starting in 2017. So they're not going to have time to make a Fantastic Four movie all the time, or X-Men movies.
And it's I was doing some reading on IGN, and one of the good points that one of the editors were making was that, they had to sell these franchises off in the early 90s to, avoid bankruptcy. And, I mean, granted, now that they're on their feet, I think it shouldn't be so far-fetched to negotiate terms of a contract where it was like, well, we need, not only can we say mutant, but it has to be explained that mutants are around.
Yeah.
Not only do we need to say, like, okay, we need Spider-Man to show up here, here, and here, but we can maybe throw you a sequel or throw you a movie that you'll produce, in off-season.
That's how they should do it. They should just say, like, okay, Marvel movies, 3 movies a year, but we also let Sony make our Spider-Man movies.
Right.
We let Fox make our X-Men movies.
Right. And I know this whole thing spilled out over X-Men because Fox, basically when Disney got on their feet, Fox was the first one to claim that, X-Men wouldn't be what it is without us. Granted, very true. Fox paid a lot of attention. They invested a lot in X-Men. So, but still, their fans are demanding it. And ultimately, it's what the fans want.
It's what the actors want. I mean, they keep, in every interview, they're like, I would love to fight the Hulk in a movie. I would love, Andrew Garfield was saying, I would love to team up with Iron Man. It's like, yeah, no kidding.
We want that too. And ultimately, that's what matters. That's what generates movie ticket sales.
Yeah.
And that's what the producers and execs are going to have to broker.
The saddest thing is, I think at this point, a crossover between DC and Marvel Studios is more likely than X-Men and Fantastic Four crossing over with Avengers.
Right. And that just doesn't even make sense to me.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense to me. So, I mean, it's getting to the point. This kind of goes back to, last episode's discussion about just ignoring TV. We're past that now. We are past that. That's one thing that Joss Whedon, Disney, and Marvel achieved with the Avengers. We've seen what it can do, how well it can be received, how well it can work, and that is ultimately what we want. If you can't enter the game with that, you're already behind. You're already behind. It's that simple.
Yeah. Well, that's all the superhero news. I'm so excited about all these new DC movies and Civil War happening for Marvel.
It's hard to believe. It's almost a Twilight Zone because, in schoolyards across America in 1996, we always used to just talk. Remember the conversations like, oh, that bald dude from Star Trek would make the perfect Professor X. And, it's not only has it happened, but now it's just like, it's like wildfire. And I'm just hoping that it's beyond the point of just mere fad. Like, I am hoping that it's something that can be, it's a market that is sustainable, which, it's proven. It's proven that it can. But I mean, most importantly, I'm hoping for a catalog of amazing films.
Yeah.
That's what matters about these characters we love.
The key for the coming years is keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh.
As long as they keep changing it up like Marvel's been doing, this is all going to go well. All will go well for all of us.
Right.
The U.S. economy is just going to be cracking out superhero movies, and we're going to be watching them, loving every moment.
That's the dream.
All right. It's been this week. I forgot how I end these.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. see you next week.